Welcome ladies and gentlemen to this casted game of Age of Empires 4, and today, spawning in the west side of the map, we've got Napoleon Dynamite in orange, playing as the Ottomans. Going to be going up against Ben. Ben, 8348, playing on the east side of the map in blue as the English. Welcome to Lipany, a map that we've all come to know and love in Age of Empires 4 with some wacky spawns, but actually today, the spawn is, well, it's pretty decent. But looking at the minimap, some shenanigans are happening. Villagers are coming out to berries here for the English. Quite a few of them on the forward deer pack, and that's interesting. What hasn't happened for the Ottomans is an instant military school, and that's understandable when you're up against the English. Kind of the last thing you want to do is send spears there, because they can just be sniped by the short bows of the villagers. The villagers obviously being able to fire arrows. The spearmen probably won't be able to do too much damage in the Dark Age, and so, quite rightly so, Napoleon Dynamite is delaying that first military school after he ages up to the next stage. Speaking of age up, well, Napoleon Dynamite will be looking to get to that next stage pretty soon. On the other hand, of course, Ben moving to the deer pack will be delaying his food income in the short term, but in the long term, it's really going to stack up because the deer, of course, does hunt food pretty fast, and each deer pack has 350 food. And he's actually pushing the deer as well towards that mill, so we'll be gathering pretty fast, and I wonder whether there's going to be a fast castle behind this because there's a lot of walking distance, but he's got quite a few villagers on food here, 11 of them. He'll certainly be stacking up that food fast. It might be the case that he's just trying to pick off the food from the map before he heads back home. We shall find out what the overall strategy is. It's going to be the Twin Minaret Madrasa, landmark of choice for Napoleon Dynamite, and Council Hall is going to be built with one villager. Okay, this must be a fast castle strategy. You can't really justify going up to the next stage with just one villager. For any other reason, 4 villagers on gold as well, so that certainly does suggest so. If you're looking for a sort of a longbowman rush, you would start to think about transitioning onto wood. And obviously that's not happening here. It's just concentrating on pushing on deer. And with this number of villagers on food, he should be getting to the next stage at a very fast time. The question is whether he'll be put under pressure from the Ottomans. He's building that landmark with 4 villagers. He's going to be getting there soon. The concern for the Ottomans is that, well, he's going to be investing in a military school, which is nice to have those free units, but really for him, it's going to be a timing attack that's going to be important. And, well, the military school, whilst it gives you free units, it doesn't train particularly fast. So those units will come out, but, you know, production building-wise, that might be a better option in terms of the short-term gain in units, at least with the speed that they come out, because the military schools aren't cheap, costing both wood and stone. There's that feudal age for the Ottomans, now 4.5 minutes, and the council hall, taking quite some time to build, now has moved off, well, moved 2 villages now to build that landmark, so we'll quicken things up just ever so slightly. But looking at the food count, 550 food, 200 gold, he's certainly getting there soon with more villagers coming out to gold, 7 of them now. And well, Napoleon Dynamite will scout this. He'll know that the fast castle's coming up, and that'll probably kind of concern him somewhat. But where does he pivot here? What strategy does Napoleon Dynamite decide to do? Maybe looking for a second town centre. That's the only way to justify 7 villagers on stone and obviously collecting almost 350 stone. But yeah, it's going to be dropping a second town centre. Question is where? Probably on the deer pack here. The issue is it's going to be facing up against a castle age English, and that could be painful. The villagers are now almost going to be finishing up the deer pack pretty soon, actually. Still a bit more food left over, but it's really itching towards that timing now. Almost 1,000 food, and to get to that castle age, you only need 1,200 food and 600 gold. I say only, but it's quite a heavy investment. It's going to be completely naked as well. Not a single military unit being produced. Of course, doesn't even have a production building. Napoleon Dynamite has invested in that second town centre, so that food income will be coming in from the deer, but he'll be pumping those food incomes back into more villagers, building up that economy. He's going to need to hold on, because I wonder whether once Benny Boy does get to that castle age, whether he'll be super aggressive. We'll see what landmark he decides to go up to the next stage with, and also what production buildings he decides to plonk down. But I mean, he's got no wood. He's literally got no villagers on wood. I don't know where he's going to be able to fund that production building from. Maybe he's not going to, I don't know. In any case, villagers have been pulled away from the deer. 5 of them remain. And has got the gold he needs now. He's getting textiles. That is awkward timing. Something's going on here. Something very weird. The only reason to get textiles would be to go forward. for an aggressive play with villagers because, you know, he's not under any sort of pressure. And he's not really anticipating it. There's no production buildings here for the Ottomans either. It didn't go for that military school in the end, so was the second town centre. It's going to send for so many villagers, 19 of them. And he's going forward with the villagers on deer as well. I think it's going to be a forward white tower. The question is, where does he put it? How forward does he put it? It's going to have to be aggressive because this is a whole lot of idle economy. Double stable there. Thank you very much for the follow there on, I think it's Twitch. But of course, this is going to be recorded and uploaded to YouTube as well. So don't forget to check out the Twitch if you're interested as well. But I don't stream on there too much. It's mostly YouTube content these days. In any case, speaking of content, this is perfect content because he's sending his whole economy, 24 villagers. I say whole, there's 2 villagers left behind gathering wood. Maybe they didn't get the memo. In any case, the scout is heading towards that wood line. I suspect he might be dropping the white tower somewhere there. That's where the scout's hanging out. I mean, he can't really go further around. Could potentially do it there, but I want to see whether he's going to be alerting the Ottomans to this presence. I don't think Napoleon Dynamite sees this. He doesn't yet. And yeah, he doesn't have... Oh, he's going to see it. He's going to see the foundation. And what's so key about this is the arrows is firing from the town centre. And that's super key because that means the town centre is actually in range of this white tower. Curious to see where the villagers go forward from here, where they go to a resource or maybe to wood. It doesn't have much wood income coming in. Doesn't have any food or gold either. It's going to be rams. It's got to be rams. Sabai going to try and deny, but obviously not going to work. White tower goes up. 20 villagers garrison inside. Snipes the Sabai. Probably have to snipe a village or two, maybe. In any case, the villagers are popping up. They're just waiting around, waiting for further instructions. Doesn't have enough wood for a lumber camp even. So that rationalizes why he had villagers at home, spawning villagers at home for that wood for the lumber camp. These villagers are idle right now. Oh my god, this is going to be a white tower ram rush. This is absolutely crazy. As an English strategy, this has got to be one of the most toxic strategies I've seen. I mean, is there a way to stop this? I mean, I guess it's with feudal age and dark age aggression. It's got to be. You know, the Ottomans were relatively relaxed early on, but who could blame them? Because the English are known to be a very defensive civilization. It's actually very hard to do a lot of damage against the English early on. And hence why even the military school didn't go down for Napoleon Dynamite, because he knows that the villagers can fire. It's difficult to get the aggression off early. And with this number of villagers on wood, he's going to be able to forward rams very quickly. Don't forget as well, the battering rams, they will be coming in a lot faster with this white tower. The white tower actually operates at 100% faster, so he's going to be able to train these rams. Usually they take 30 seconds to pop out, but with the English on the white tower, he should be able to train them in 15 seconds. 15 seconds, you get 4 in a minute. And how does Napoleon Dynamite fight this back? He can't, because if he tries to torch this down, it's in range of the white tower. Looks like it's going to the castle age though. Looking at the map, bro, it's 1,400 food, almost 600 gold. But that castle age, I don't know how it's going to help. It's going to need the Mehmed Imperial Armory to get a trebuchet maybe to try and push this white tower back. But I'm not sure if he has enough time because the rams will be coming in thick and fast. 24 villagers on that wood. He's just queuing up ram after ram. They do cost quite, you know, there's 250 wood. It's not cheap, but they come out so fast. And he's going to get villagers out to repair here, Napoleon Dynamite. That is precious wood that he doesn't really have. He won't be able to drop a siege workshop when he gets to the castle age to produce any trebuchets faster. He's going to have to rely on the Mehmed Imperial Armory. Going to come up with 16 or so villagers or so. Fourth ram comes out, and look at this, the melee units just can't fight. He's got 2 imams as well. Imams will be healing up those units, but they just can't get close to the fight. And there's absolutely no military units coming out for the English. Benny boy, what are you doing? He's going to win this game, you feel, and if he does, what a crazy strategy. How does Napoleon Dynamite sort this out, and how does he stop it? If you guys know a way of stopping this, let me know in the chat, especially in this matchup, the Ottomans versus English, because, as we say, the military school is not really an ideal opening for the Ottomans against the English. One ram will be taken apart, but at what cost? A lot of spearmen will be going down, and the horsemen as well. And he's actually going to keep ramming this town centre down. And also maybe looking to go towards that Twin Minaret Madrasa afterwards. It's on fire. It's almost down. It's almost down. And then he's going to start focusing on the Twin Minaret Madrasa. But White Tower has actually got some units garrisoned inside. Might be villagers potentially. Which we'll see. I actually can't tell. I suspect it'll be villagers. It's got 7 out of 20. Probably doesn't need that many villagers to be gathering wood anyway to get around. He's got constant production. Twin Minaret Madrasa is the next focus of attack, and then after that it's just the Mehmed Imperial Army. What has to be said though, the Mehmed Imperial Army is obviously not in range of that white tower. But how does Napoleon Dynamite stop this? That's actually curious. Maybe he doesn't have to deal with this. He could have kept those units alive to try and stop the push on the Mehmed Imperial Army. That could have been a way. But obviously now he's down to one town centre and lacking the berry bushes on that Twin Minaret Madrasa. Landmark town centre will be going down. 2 villagers trying to repair. They're literally not relying on any military at all. Villagers now being pulled. They're going to be going for the Twin Minaret Madrasa. It's the last landmark. It's going to be a landmark snipe. 2 knights are popping out. That could certainly do a lot of damage, but I wonder whether he has enough. I think the idea trying to defend this has got to be to give up the map position here on the front and head back, try and defend your last landmark. And that's exactly what he's going to have to try and do now, but there are so many rams, 8 of them. They just come out so fast. None more are coming. No more are coming. Villagers being pulled from back from the initial town centre and the wood line. They're going to try and torch it down, almost down to half health. Almost there. Mangonel trying to come out. Villagers repairing. But he's going to run out of wood very soon. No villagers on wood, I don't think, there for Napoleon Dynamite. Actually, he's got 4. Trying to build some barracks, trying to get as many melee units as possible. I'm not sure it's going to be enough. The rams are doing great work. Villagers coming out to try and torch those rams down, but the villagers coming in for English as well to try and finish this off. The rams are almost doing it with the Mehmed Imperial Army, down to 500 HP, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Benny Boy comes out with a crazy English strategy. Hope you guys enjoyed this casted game, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all things Age of Empires 4.